Namaste. It's a pleasure and an honor to talk today about Master Choa Kok Sui. So I've been a pranic healer and Hayatic yogi for about 6-7 years now. And I have to say it's completely changed my life. If I look back at the life I was living before, I was a bit of a lost soul. I don't know if you've seen the movie Soul, but that's the kind of image I have of myself back then. Not to go into too much details, but I guess I was a bit of a alcoholic, drug addict, dealer, many other things. I had all the vices that you can think of, pretty much, and it wasn't pretty sight. So one day I had some, very difficult events in my life happen, and step by step, over the course of a couple months, each step of the way just guided me to Master Choa, to his teachings, and I haven't really looked back since. So it's been going from a bit of a lost soul to living a life of purpose, of service, and of gratitude. So all these things are beautiful. Each step of the way was a real blessing. Teachings in pranic healing seem to be sometimes a little bit out there, but what I really liked about it is how practical it is, and because it's based on science and we encourage validation. I've been able to validate healings as each step along the way. Whenever I had a doubt, something happened that just made me really believe in it even more. Let me give you a couple of examples. One time I cut my thumb while I was cooking, and I had a similar cut when I was working in a professional kitchen, where I cut my nail, some skin and flesh. And for about a week, when I cut it in a professional kitchen, it would keep on bleeding. I would need to keep on putting Band-Aids to disinfect and to do all of that. And, it was a painful process, and it was a long road to recovery. When it happened to me after I started being a pranic healer for just a few months, I had a similar cut in Singapore, so tropical country. And, instead of kind of crying, being in pain, and concentrating on that, I decided, my mother was next to me, and I was like, yes. She was like, are you crazy, son? What's wrong with you? So I went to get the book because I knew there was a protocol, and I absolutely wanted to verify that, because for me that was, it's one thing to do protocols for other kind of healings if you don't see it physically, but there I was pissing blood. So I just put it under the water for a couple seconds, and I just started to do the protocol, and within about less than 2 minutes it stopped bleeding. And I was able to, with the different kind of energies, to disinfect it and to kind of bandage it that way without using a physical band-aid. And it was a tropical country once again. And within a couple of minutes it stopped bleeding, and I never had any problems from it. I looked at it recover without the Band-Aid. I didn't have to change. Sure, it was a little bit tender, but yeah, it kind of really confirmed for me that how powerful these healings are. Another really powerful healing that I'd like to share is one of our family members had a stroke and was half paralyzed. She was on the other side of the world, and so I knew that there was a protocol in a book about healing these kind of ailments, and so I could confirm from halfway across the world where it was coming from, and what the quality of that energy was. So I still remember calling her while she was in the hospital. She had a nurse next to her. She was in the States. I was in Singapore. So I just said, hey, let's invoke together, and let's have a little, I'm just going to do a little bit of cleaning on the arm. I didn't do the full protocol, but I just did a little bit of cleaning just to make sure that this person was receptive to it, and so that she could kind of trust me or not on the spot. And after about 5-10 minutes, she could barely move her left. I remember it was a left hand, left arm. At that time, its whole left body she couldn't move. And after about 10 minutes, she could make a fist, she could move her arm. The next nurse was next to her. She was like, oh my God, I knew there was something else. It was just one of those unbelievable moments in life. And it was pretty powerful. Now, when she went to bed, she sent me a message, and I did the full protocol. The next day she could walk. It was amazing for me. And it took about 2-3 months of regular healing, about 2-3 times a week, so that the healing could be more permanent. And to this day, it's been about 5-6 years, this person is still fine. I also met my wife through the school, another beautiful blessing. And it's amazing. We have a beautiful daughter together, a pranic baby or hatic baby, depending on who you talk to. And what I really love today about all of these healings is that we don't panic when anything happens to her. So she gets a fever one time. I remember she got a fever. Within about 5-10 minutes, we got the fever down by 2.5 degrees Celsius. So from 38.7 to like a 36.2 or 3. It's amazing to see that happen. And so as every time she got sick, she got some kind of ailment, some kind of knock, we knew that we could turn to healing to facilitate, to take away some of the pain, to facilitate some of the whole process. And it's been a real blessing. Of course, we don't turn our backs on doctors by any means. We definitely are not fanatic about it, but yeah, it's important to kind of have a balance between the two. So again, the message here is, again, my gratitude to Master Choa Kok Sui, meeting him in my life, allowing him in my life. It's been the biggest blessing of all. I can't imagine my life without it. And what would I be? I'd be another lost soul. Would I be alive? Sometimes I ask myself, probably not. Looking at the character of people that I had around in my life and looking at the character of people that I have in my life today, I have to say I'm very blessed to have met such a great teacher. And I can only encourage you to follow, not follow his teaching necessarily, but I can only encourage you to kind of be curious and to see what he's done and what he's achieved and how this could impact your life as well. So Atma Namaste, thanks to all, and hope to see you soon.